From the giant fishing spider to poison arrow frogs to the giant Amazon centipede. Sit back and relax. Today, we're going to take you through 7 of the Amazon's deadliest river monsters. No need to tell you that animals are fascinating creatures that never cease to surprise us with their techniques, sometimes unusual, of survival, defense, or hunting. As such, I imagine that you have already seen hundreds of videos or documentaries on the hypnotic dance of weasels, on the short-horned lizard that spurts blood from its eye sockets, or on the cyclone-like parade of reindeer. But what about the small creatures like insects or arachnids? It is only now that I'm telling you about them that you realize that you don't know that much about these tiny creatures, which are also not lacking in ingenuity and which can prove to be fearsome. Curious as you are, nothing will please you more than to discover some survival techniques of these fascinating little creatures. Unfortunately, a single video will not be enough to go around all the insects and arachnids with foreign behaviors on Earth. But as long as we are in the quest of the most dangerous creature of the Amazon basin, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. With the spider belonging to the genus Cycloza discovered very recently at the research center of Tambopata in Peruvian Amazonia. This spider is part of the most dangerous and deadly monsters of the Amazon basin. It is precisely because of its poison very poisonous, but also because it is able to create false spiders from leaves, debris, and dead insects. And to reinforce the illusion, she hangs these fake spiders, which are often several times her size, on her web and then shakes it vigorously. This ingenious lure allows her to distract predators to flee and immobilize potential prey before injecting them with her venom. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? But this taste with this fascinating Amazonian spider has only made you even more curious about the strange behavior of insects and arachnids. However, on the bright side, just a few minutes ago you weren't interested in these little creatures at all. And now you not only know more about one of the baddest spiders on our planet, but you are also thirsty for knowledge. So until you have time to quench that thirst by doing some research on the net, let's discover together other monsters of the Amazon River. Maybe there will be a surprise with another Amazonian spider. Here is now one of the most gigantic and bloodthirsty monsters of the Amazon basin, which is none other than the black caiman. With its 7 meters long and its weight that can easily reach 1,200 kilograms, this giant reptile is the second largest species of crocodilians on Earth. As you can probably imagine, with such a size and an unwavering predatory instinct, this monster with red eyes and black scaly skin has an insatiable appetite. But its ability to live both in the Amazon River and on its banks makes the black caiman a fearsome monster that spends its days hunting and gorging itself on aquatic creatures such as piranhas or catfish, but also on all land animals that have the misfortune to meet its path. This born killer that spares neither birds, nor turtles, nor even anacondas and jaguars has, however, one and only predator that cruelly threatens its existence. This predator is man. It is therefore us humans who come to the end of this king of the Amazon for its coveted leather. Still, despite the heavy threat of poachers on this fabulous species, the black caiman does not hesitate to take its revenge every time it finds itself face to face with a fisherman or a carefree tourist. It is thus by attacking humans too that the black caiman imposed their ultimate supremacy on the Amazon. If you want me to keep my promise of introducing you to another Amazonian spider just as fascinating and dangerous as the Cycloza, which makes very elaborate lures, I must warn you that this spider I'm about to show you may awaken the arachnophobe in you. Well, as long as you insist, at your own risk. 3, 2, 1. Here is the monstrous Anaconda bogotanensis, commonly called the giant fishing spider. Yes, you heard right. Fisherman, not hunter. Apart from its deadly poison, its 13 centimeters wingspan, its frightening appearance, and its stiff microhairs that give you the chills, this huge and dangerous Amazonian spider is semi-aquatic. As such, it not only hunts small lizards and insects such as hornets, crickets, or cockroaches, but as its name suggests, it is also an unparalleled fisherman, not hesitating to pounce on small fish, baby toads, or freshwater crabs that find themselves temporarily out of the water. And if you are not impressed enough, this giant spider can dive into the Amazon and stay completely submerged for several minutes in search of unfortunate prey such as guppy or gambusia fish. Promises are made to be kept. I found you a surprising and creepy Amazonian spider, and if you feel that you are about to become arachnophobic, I can't help you. I warned you. But because I'm nice, I'm not going to leave you alone with your new phobia, and I'm going to do the best I can to make you forget about the monstrous giant fishing spider, thanks to other Amazonian monsters that don't belong to the Aranid family. See you then! Here are now Dendrobates. As you can see, these tiny frogs with bright and surprising colors, which live on the banks of the Amazon River, are absolutely cute. But what are such beautiful creatures doing in a video dedicated to the most deadly monsters of the Amazon? For sure, this is a question you must ask yourself now. Well, as you must know, appearances are deceptive, and these little frogs with their harmless appearance are the proof. Indeed, in spite of their sizes, which never exceeded 2.5 centimeters, and their colors, which leave the ordinary and which can seem to us, to human beings, attractive, the message which these frogs send with their broad palette of red, yellow, blue, orange, or mauve colors is very hostile from the point of view of the Amazonian animals. Because in the middle of the green rainforest, these bright colors say to potential predators, beware, I'm poisonous, don't eat me. So these tiny Amazonian amphibians are deadly monsters. As an example, this beautiful little golden frog has enough toxin in its skin to kill 20,000 mice or 20 adult men. This is precisely why Native Americans use the toxic secretions of these tiny frogs, which they call poison dart frogs, to poison the tips of their darts. Yes, I know, you are shocked. These tiny frogs are so cute that you can't believe they are so dangerous. Well, their toxicity doesn't take away from their charm, and even if they are deadly, you can still be fascinated by their beauty, because they are really beautiful. You too must probably have a panic fear of millipedes, and that's perfectly normal. With their unattractive color, numerous pairs of legs, and segmented bodies, these arthropods do not inspire confidence at all. Yet, if you put appearance aside, this dislike you have for local millipedes is unjustified. 1. They are absolutely harmless. 2. Compared to millipedes from other parts of the world, they might look as good to you as unicorns. Now you're probably thinking that I'm exaggerating, and you are just asking to see with your own eyes. So let's go to the wet banks of the Amazon River. Here, you will not find the small millipedes of hardly 3 centimeters, which frighten you so much, but rather these monstrous giant specimens, which measure more than 30 centimeters long for 2 centimeters of diameter. Here, the millipedes look more like snakes than earthworms, and that's not all. On the banks of the Amazon River, these giant millipedes, which seem to come straight out of your worst nightmares, do not feed on rotten wood or dead leaves. They are formidable carnivores and venomous predators, which feed on lizards, mice, bats, and small snakes, and whose venom can even kill an adult human in a few seconds. So, aren't they cute little millipedes from our country? Saturday, September the 19th, 1981. This date probably doesn't mean anything to you, but today, 40 years later, if you ask any Brazilian, he will tell you that this date marks the worst maritime tragedy in the history of the Amazon River. But what happened on that day? To better understand, a little trip back in time is necessary. You are in the Brazilian city of Santarém. Like 500 other people, you have just boarded the riverboat Sobral Santos II to go to Manaus via the Amazon River. You have been a passenger on this overloaded boat for a few hours already when suddenly it capsizes when you are only a few hundred meters from the port of Obidos. And this is where the tragic event nicknamed the Amazon Apocalypse took place, with more than 300 deaths, 100 of which have never been found. So, this is what happened on that cursed Saturday, September the 19th, 1981. Even if you find out about this tragic accident 40 years late, it does not prevent you from being extremely saddened by all those lost lives. But the story doesn't end there. And if I tell you about the sinking of the Sobral Santos II in this video, you can imagine that a fearsome Amazonian monster had a hand in the loss of all those lives. Indeed, it is only very recently that the famous fisherman of the extreme Jeremy Wade discovered that there were so many victims following this shipwreck because of the piraiwa, the giant catfish of the Amazon. According to Jeremy, it was hordes of piraibas, the bloodthirsty murderous monsters, that pulled the struggling victims underwater, where they drowned them before devouring them. It's a tragic story, but quite amazing. To think that we keep looking for mythological monsters like the Kraken or the Loch Ness Monster when they have never caused any victims, while there are much worse in real life. The proof that once again reality largely exceeds fiction. Here is now the most famous monster of the Amazon basin, the green anaconda. This Amazonian giant is the heaviest snake with an average weight of 200 kilograms, the largest with a diameter of 1 meter and the longest in South America with its 8 meters. But although the green anaconda is practically at the top of the Amazonian food chain, its titanic size does not allow it to be as fast as its prey on land. That's why every time a green anaconda is on the hunt, it prefers to put all the chances on its side by roaming on the wet and slippery banks of the Amazon. Thus, it can crawl more easily thanks to its smooth body to dive into the river and ambush itself, while gobbling up all kinds of fish as snacks, waiting to surprise and attack bigger prey. It is thus thanks to its semi-aquatic capacities, but also to its constriction force, that this murderous and merciless monster suffocates before swallowing big Amazonian rodents, tapirs, peccaries, but also some of its main rivals for the Amazon throne, such as jaguars and black caimans. Still, by attacking its rivals, the green anaconda also risks bitter defeats, which make it fall rather quickly from the rank of a great supreme predator to that of a delicious and corpulent prey. But the few defeats it has to his credit do not make him a less good predator. The proof is in the multitude of myths and terrifying legends that he nourishes, both in Native American folklore and in Hollywood movies. These were 7 of the deadliest river monsters in the Amazon. Tell us in the comments which one surprised you the most. And if you liked this video, don't forget to put a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the notifications and not miss anything of our next contents.